Welcome, Music Multiverse listeners. Welcome to Beyond Your Radio album review, Saturdays 2025, episode 2. Oh, we've got a long, long way to go. Yeah. So, hey, glad you're joining us. Stick around for another 50 some episodes.
Yay.
Yay. So, 2025 isn't quite ready for us yet. I didn't think so anyway. So, we're going to stick in the 2024s, albums that we weren't able to get into, and these albums had some buzz, some odd connections. We want to make you aware of them, so to speak, because we thought they were worthy. So if you don't know already, Beyond Your Radio's album review Saturdays is an extension of our website where I've written the article there. So on this video, yes, we're going to do those three. And if you read, that's great. But the pontifications of myself in the video could be funny. And of course, any comments and critiques and idiosyncrasies from Dam, because she's on the show again. She couldn't help it. Trying to do 3 in a row, get a hat trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, you can go to beyondyourradio.com and catch that. It's all there with links to the albums and in this case, some links to other things.
Ooh.
So this week, album review, Saturday, 2025, episode 2, keeps your ear into the past, but only a couple of months ago. Yes, there's an album. There are albums that have just released in 2025, but they're not ready. I am ready to listen to them yet. It wouldn't be enough time to get into them. So you got another week. Maybe Busta Rhymes. No, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. So the first one comes from a young female vocalist and songwriter that's been pouring her essence into something of an epic. And now she's finally able to spread her vocal delivery and musical impressions out on her own debut, which definitely has a very connective, passionate, nice start, along with her EP that came out in the same year. Next up, we got extremely musically philosophical with a multi-instrumentalist that's pushing cello to make a fish fly. Yeah, you'll get the picture later. Then we get into the clutches of a psychedelic stoner rock band from Scotland that grooves as hard as it hits. And yeah, it's safe to go drinking with a Scotsman. I'm not sure. These guys. All three are very different rides, but all worthy of being on album review Saturdays 2025. So without further banter and bullshit from my lips, let's get to critiquing and exploring. So our first one up is Analia, Therapy. Now, there's no better growing word in the dictionary these days than therapy. Everyone's in therapy. I'm not. Perhaps it's fitting. It's the perfect title. This is my therapy, damn it.
That's right.
But can you back it up? Because this is a sensitive and very broad subject. And when you put that on your cover, I'm thinking, this is going to be deep. And the woods are lovely. No, okay, that's a whole nother. So it's a touchy subject, so to speak, maybe for some people, right? I say this because you can touch therapy. You can't touch therapy. That's right. You can't touch therapy. Well, I guess you could touch your therapist, vice versa. But then you've got a whole nother reason to go to therapy. And another therapist in there, guys. So all kinds of problems, dilemmas, and issues. So let's just void that all together. So what does Anna Lee, this vocal character of the multi-part musical called Epic? That's right. She's a voice character in a, I want to say, is it anime?
Yeah, kind of, I think.
But it's a hell of a soundtrack, I'll tell you. And her voice is immaculate, and she can sing. She can sing from her house a cappella on it wasn't YouTube. Where the hell? Maybe it was YouTube. There's some links in there. So
she's on TikTok a lot.
TikTok a lot? Yeah. See, yeah. I'm not there on TikTok. They won't let me in. I keep knocking on
Me neither.
I'm not ticking and talking. Yeah. You're too old. Get the hell out.
Yep.
You're one of the people we make fun of. Surprisingly, she put out an EP before the record. Now, I'm glad that the EP doesn't have all the same songs as the album, which is good because I hate that crap like no tomorrow. Well, here's an EP as a taste, and I'm gonna put all that shit on the album. So now I just missing the EP, and I don't. I don't think Quicksand was on the record. So, you get an idea. Miss Lee makes no mistakes in utilizing her voice as that vocal impression as the passion and the heart of the record, while allowing hints of familiar style connections that we'll probably be talking about here in a bit for the framework of the entire pieces. In fact, the album does this so well that the reminders are wonderful for me. But the flow of the record changes the range and trajectory enough to make it stand out perfectly. So I guess I'll let Deb chime in here, and then I'll go into the therapy and what kind of hint it has.
Okay. Well, I've never heard of her before, and she's a newcomer, like you said, but she isn't to people that follow musicals and that type of entertainment. But I kind of liken her to Kristen Chenoweth that was in Wicked, and then she was able to move from Broadway to being in television shows, and she's got a great vocal range. I mean, you can tell that she attended the Royal College of Music. You can tell that she's trained, definitely.
Yeah.
Her range is amazing, but very controlled, which that's somebody that's on stage. You have to be able to, you can be powerful, but you've got to make sure it's at the right part of the song. Her piano and the vocals and just the style reminded me a lot of Alicia Keys, Sarah Bareilles, that kind of, I guess, storytelling and playing and phrasing. I feel that her music is stylish, timeless though, even though stylish. I think it's something that is going to not wear out its welcome. I had a few songs that I loved in particular. Liar was very lilty and floaty and frilly. And again, the piano certainly drives the mood of the song along
Yeah,
with
and
her
that,
voice. It goes together very, very well. You don't really need any other instruments on this album, in my opinion. At least I wasn't hearing any because that's not what I was paying attention to. I'm sure there were. And then I think the next song after Liar, or maybe it was two later, was Panic, Suffocation. And that was interesting. It was more, I guess, hollow, expansive, melancholy.
But it just feels like I'm drowning. I'm breathing in, but I can't feel a thing except I'm breathing out. But it just feels like I'm drowning.
But it had a sweetness to it. It had something innocent that I liked about it. I didn't find any of the songs, even though they were very emotional. I didn't find them sad or depressing. I thought of them as being thought provoking, actually. And I can say that I think she's going to be around. I'm impressed. This isn't the kind of music I gravitate towards normally, but it was very, very enjoyable. That's what I got.
yeah. On a couple of notes, you hit some words that I'll come back to too. Therapy does have a Billie Eilish moment or two in the arrangement. So there's your
Yeah.
familiarity.
Mhm.
But she didn't lay her whole album down to say that kind of therapy. She had shades of excellent songwriting that is versed tightly and wound to be understood rather than to be kind of in the know, which is sort of a Taylor Swiftian kind of thing that sometimes we're not. Or what's the other one? Lana Del Rey. Wait,
Mm.
what is she talking? I have no idea. There's an underground something in Hollywood. I don't live in Hollywood. God damn it! You're speaking Braille to me. So Miss Leah shines in this absorption that she has, that her vocal exudes. Like she absorbs a song. Don't quite know what the hell I'm saying there. Well, Deb already touched on it. It's the idea of the song Panic and Suffocation. I actually feel like she is singing under suffocation. She's
Mhm.
deliberately singing this way. it's mincing words to ensnare the audio mindset, and that's ridiculous. That's clever beyond,
Mhm.
you know. I know we all do. There's artists like I got Gowan on the brain today. I don't know why, but a Criminal Mind, you know, where I am like he's singing like a criminal. Yeah, but this is different. This is
Yeah, it is.
way different, right?
Mhm.
It doesn't stop there either. She pulls a very convincing breadth and depth that might match Paula Cole on One
Mm.
Nation Divided.
Don't say the children are not good enough unless it's my admiration for what they seek. You're dead to me, you're dead to me.
She has that.
Yeah.
That's it's a stunning accomplishment and one of the favorite female solo tracks I've heard in 2024 in the past. That unfortunately no one heard because I didn't get to hear it till New Year's Eve. You
Mhm.
know, she's a gift vocally. That's for damn sure. Lyrically,
Mhm.
it was good. Her what did you call it? Darn it, it's a word I wanted to use all the time now that I don't use. Darn it.
Melancholy.
No. How you deliver it?
Oh, oh, phrasing.
Yes, phrasing. I don't know why I can never use that word. It's not in my vernacular.
It's because I use it too much.
Phrasing. Frasier? What? Well, familiarity breeds contempt, and Aaliyah managed to stay clear of that. Clean and tempered throughout the record. She showcases a lot of what she can do, as well as the modesty of the musicians that are participating around her. She can go bigger, and I'm sure that's going to be something she will struggle with, considering the bombacity of the Epic series.
Mhm.
Yes, she's a musical vocalist pinching a hint of operatic reach, which she could probably do, but we already have an Adele, so we don't need an Adele. We already have
Mhm.
those kind of people, and if it fits
Right.
the song, then she knows how to use it. Um,
Correct.
you know, she's going to manufacture more emotional connections beyond therapy, so it's an odd place to start for me. I'm worried in that regard that it might have been not the greatest control experience. You want to know, you want to know where it starts? This is where it starts. So where does it go from
Mm.
here? It's going to open up further. I would guess that she's going to go on some sort of other therapeutic journey with her life anyway, and what she's
Mhm.
going to experience. I mean, don't get me wrong. She's probably experienced a lot more than most considering her workmanship. But
Yeah.
for now, I think we're all intrigued as to where this could go. And it's our hope that for her, she's equally as intrigued by that. So that will be the tell, I think, right? If you just
Yes.
run into complacency, which some of the people, one of the people you mentioned in that pile,
Mm.
seems to be in
Mhm.
that complacency part. And I don't. I mean, that's fine. You can be Def Leppard all over again. Oh, I just offended a lot of people. But yeah, I do like a little progress, a little
Yeah.
something, a little something different. I don't need the same album all the time.
Correct.
But don't jump off a cliff either. All right, we're gonna go here to had no idea, no clue, none whatsoever. This is a deep dive. This is something that when I wrote it down and put it down on the list, as I started, I went, "Oh no, what have I done?" Should have probably have been one album that should have been done all by itself. But this is Fish in a Bird Cage. The album is called Mentors. Okay, so let's get right into the archetype here. So the name and the overall connection to that name of this instrumentalist. There's no way I can prepare you for this, but he has rules from his mom.
Yep. I love it.
Rules.
I love it. I
You
love
know,
this whole concept.
yeah, every track is a rule. So
Mhm.
let me put it to you simply. I did not write this on the articles, right?
Mhm.
So have you watched Zombieland? If
Mhm.
you've watched Zombieland, the character played by Eisen something, God bless me, I can't remember his name. He has rules for surviving the zombie apocalypse, and you are
Ah,
told those rules while they're slaying. And he's got rule number 3, always this, always, okay.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
so his mother's first rule
Hmm.
had to do with something, right? So I'm thinking of myself, like my mom zipping up my coat when I was a kid or whatever, gonna go outside, or if I'm gonna go listen to music, she's going, now, Mark, what's the number 1 rule? Kiss is overrated. Okay, well then wait a minute.
I
My
don't
mom would
picture
just
your
like, no,
mom
Mark,
saying that.
most people just say that's common sense. No. Oh, I'm alienating people today.
Yeah, again.
Whatever your rules were from your mother, your father, it was a little different for Dustin. Mr. Townsend, who is the fish in a bird cage, in more ways than one, I guess. This is what he does. Every song is a rule.
Mhm.
And now he's up to rule 46. So we've had 12 rules on this album. And Mentors falls in this space of neoclassical Baroque pop. And
It's
then not even there because
no.
it has some extensions, right? So, well, and now here's the weird part. So how did he get famous? Well, he's not famous. Is he famous? I think he's famous. He's famous for another reason altogether.
What?
So he's busking in Spain because that's what he does. He plays on rooftops, street corners, all this stuff. By the way, he's
Uh-huh.
from Alberta, Canada. I don't know what he's doing
Yeah.
in Spain.
I know.
Then again, if I
Well,
could go to Spain and just busk on the streets,
yeah.
maybe.
Let's try it.
I
Yeah.
get, yeah. So he's in Spain and his dog is not well. Doesn't know what to do. And apparently, somehow, his dog has some sort of disease or whatever, and people see it and he talks about it. And I believe on Reddit. Now, I am not a Reddit scholar. I don't belong to Reddit, but I use Reddit.
Mhm.
So he's on there. Somehow this becomes an engaging arena for him to showcase himself digitally and make a connection. Hundreds of thousands of people. Him and his dog. His dog is fine now, apparently, which is
Good.
great. Kudos for
Oh,
that.
yay.
But the very sick pooch gives him an outlet and a space and an audience. And from there, Dustin Townsend ran with it to the extreme. But, what had to be there for sure is talent. And this young man has a shitload of talent. So intimate relationship he's got going online with these watchers, his talent for cello, guitar, banjo, accordion, washboard, harmonica, shoebarine.
Yeah, I was hoping you would tell me what that is.
A shoebarine. Well, you know what I'm thinking this is? This is the one-man show. He wants to have a tambourine, but he knows he can't hold it. So he's got to shake his
Is that his
foot.
Okay,
Instead of
I'm
having
following
spurs,
you
he's
here.
got a tambourine on his goddamn shoe. All right. I like this guy already. Can't wait
Yeah.
to meet him, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to meet him, but whatever. I'm going to go to Spain, apparently. I can't imagine the exhaustion this guy must have, not only in the fact that he's a one-man band doing all this shit, but he's on Reddit and he's doing all these shows or whatever he's doing. I don't even know what he's doing. I didn't see. He's on Twitch too or something. So,
Jeez.
6 hours, I think people watch him for 6 hours.
Oh,
Could you
this is like
imagine
a
people
cult.
watching me for 6 hours? They can't stand me for 4 minutes.
I do.
I know. You and 19 others. So yeah, I'm all in when I start to hear this. Now, I will apologize to every viewer that has been chiming in or has been watching and saying, violin, Mark, you said violin. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I had to, I thought it was violin, but it was cello. So I
Yes, it's
apologize
cello.
for lying to you
And cello.
on accident. And I'm surprised I wasn't corrected, but maybe Deb didn't know either at that time. I don't know.
Well, as soon as I heard it, I knew it was a cello.
Oh, okay. Well, then you win. I have not been to Spain, but I have a feeling he had to carry this equipment as a one-man band.
You could just see him go through the airport.
It's not like Alberta, Canada, where it's flat. So he had to hawk that shit up a hill, down a hill. I mean, my God, the exhaustion he must have been. He is literally a music genre all himself in a way, right?
Yeah.
And this is the kicker. Fish in a bird cage. What kind of stupid name is that for a band? But wait a minute. It's not a band. Just one
Mhm.
guy.
One
And
guy.
he is that fish in a bird cage.
Hmm.
So should I spoil it or do you want to go now? Do you know? You
Do I
go?
know why
Yep.
he had named that? I do know.
Go ahead. I'll let you go now. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm hoping maybe I get misinformation though, so
I
I'll
doubt
go
it.
first so you
I don't
can
know how you
correct
can
me.
go from here to there, but okay.
Well, he says the fish is a representative of a creature that has potential. And a fish that's in a bird cage is out of his environment, so he can't fulfill that potential. And just as any artist feels when there's constraints around them, they can't fulfill their potential. So he feels like he's been a fish in a bird cage. And one of what I find very interesting is there was one line because I was wanting to know where did these rules come from. And as soon as I saw them on the list of songs, I thought, okay, well, where's rule 1 through 34? So I got to find out about these rules, right? And I don't know which song, which rule, but he wrote the line, and I feel that this encapsulates a lot of what human beings feel as far as why they're here on earth. And it was, if I can change a life or open someone's eyes, if I can save a life, I will feel complete. And it's hard to do something that monumental if you are being constrained by anything because you have to have open space to be yourself and put yourself out there and get the universe to come back to you in a positive way. So I love the name of his band or
I do too.
himself.
Yeah.
Yay, we agree.
Oh yeah, it even goes a little bit further for that for me because I believe his idea is even a fish can fly. Yeah, in the right environment. And what would that environment be? The water.
Water,
So
flying fish.
don't put me in a category, don't put baby in a
Yep,
corner.
that's right.
Yeah.
I
So
love it.
yeah, so that's kind of where I went with this. This Mentors is a very intense. It's musically balanced. It's exceptional work of musicianship from with a neo pop classical construct, but diversity and a variety of fevers and styles that it goes to. And I know there's other people that will say it's slow, and it's delivery, but it's purposeful, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's delivered with like popular emulations, so to speak.
Mhm.
Center, healing from a space of silence. I'm awaiting new engravings chiseled out from stone.
So, like rule number 36 is called The Long Way from Home, has a synth prog element that's catchy and moderately gothic, but it's the cello that's selling this arrangement
Mhm.
against the rhythmic background that's going on. His vocal delivery has this is going to be a long list of weird things, but Crowded House, Lawrence Gowan, yeah, I'll go to Canada just because we're in Calgary, meets James Blunt, meets that guy from Tool. I won't even
Oh
bring
yeah.
up his name, but I mean,
Yeah.
sorry, I tried hard to describe it, right? There's
Uh-huh.
also no question of the hint of Celtic that's in this, and I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure he was in a Celtic band prior.
Really?
Um, it's got like moody inner workings that go there, which create a great, wondrous, wide expression that he goes through. And oh yeah, there's a fair attempt at hip hop.
They will not let me be. Married by the misery. See, in the ring you'll find it's a fight for your life. A choice to make a fist or lay down on the sidelines. Either in your bell will make it sound.
As well as an acoustic Decemberists kind of feel if you know them. So what I'm saying is it's engaging. It's why people think it's slow. It's deliberately slow so that you catch everything that's happening. I'm
Mhm.
hoping that are truly that people will truly appreciate this kind of performance. because it's not usually done,
Right.
right? What about
Yeah,
you?
you know, his rules, what I found was interesting because this particular album, um, he was only going to put 11 rules on it. But he added number 46 because he felt that he had a rule at number 35 that was the beginning of the album, and then he needed to add a rule that would pretty much encapsulate it.
Okay.
So, rule number 35, which was the first song, Microphone, what that means is if you were handed a microphone right now and you were given an unlimited audience, what would you say? That is powerful thought in your head. What do you have to say in that moment when you have captured everybody's attention? And then rule 46, which is poet, is it's now your turn to say whatever you need to say. And it might take you 12 rules of life, which is what this whole theme is. His first rule was mom said, be safe whenever you leave the house, be safe. But as he got older, the rules changed, they grew, they got more complex. And you thought that really all you really had to worry about was being safe in the world. Well, no, he's already on rule 46. And how old is this guy?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he'll
So
be a
even
lot
our
more rules.
Constitution hasn't been amended this much.
Exactly. Well, he's from Canada, so he is.
That's right. They don't have any Constitution. What? That doesn't sound good.
Oh, really? But
Mentors is a very sensible, timely, and adult off-center contemporary music. It's very
yeah,
accessible, but it's not your standard accessibility, which I
correct.
love about it because I think that'll
Yes.
ensnare more people. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? He knows exactly how to capture the entirety of a song, its narrative, as well as the composition because he composed it all on the instruments that he's using. Um, I'm going to assume he did some piano work. It's not in his
Mm,
biography, but if he can play everything else, you can play accordion. Pretty sure piano should
yeah,
be a snap. You don't have to
absolutely.
hold the fucking piano.
I'd say most songwriters can play a piano. I would
Yeah.
think that's
So,
a
but he
pretty
did
standard.
include Sarah Copenat from France.
Okay.
So she's playing piano on
Okay.
rule number 40, Brave. Beautiful
Mm-hmm.
piece. If he
Mm-hmm.
truly did all of the instrumentation and then the vocals and produced this whole thing, this is an independent accomplishment of 2024. Bar none. Not even, there's no one even close. This is also atop the Reddit popularity digital workplace he maintains as well. Dustin has put together an album that seems like it has all the capabilities and structure and care to be successful, to fly. All right, he's got it. But, and like that fish in a bird cage, that's all that he can ask for is for the chance in the right environment. So, this is marvelously close, and I certainly hope that this album gets a fair shake further into 2025.
But the cello is just, I mean, that's my favorite string instrument. I'm not a big violin fan unless it's in an orchestra. I don't like violin by itself. I find it a little, even if you're a virtuoso playing it, it's never rubbed me the right way. But cello, I love Yo-Yo Ma. I've seen Yo-Yo Ma a couple times. So when you had told me it was going to be violin, I was so pleasantly surprised as soon as I turned that first song on and I went, it's
It's
not a
cello.
violin, that's a cello, which I love. And I'm impressed as to we have this pigeonholed idea of certain instruments and what they were made to play. And a true musician can figure out how to take an instrument and play it in any genre or even in a genre he made up.
Yes. I mean, this album came out just before Christmas, so that kind of,
Yeah.
that would, it wrecks its chances kind of thing. But I
Hmm.
mean, whatever, right? I would
Hmm.
say it's definitely, this album is a rule breaker that's worth the 12 that were presented. I assure you, these are excellently constructed rules just shy of the tablets of Moses. Did he just really say that? But they have a worthy feel, the presentation, it's a unique, but it's still a familiar vessel. So, even when they show Moses, right, he's got the tablets. There's no familiarity. This is kind of scary, although he's physically fit. So there's your familiarity.
There you go.
Mentor was one we are comfortable saying would have been in our top 50 easily in 2024. now that
Yeah.
we've had the time to enjoy it, you should too. The Chris Telmeth experience. The Chris Telmeth experience. When the wheels fall off. And apparently the wheels fall off in Scotland too. The wagon, whatever you're driving.
Whatever. They have
Oh,
cars there.
yeah, it's time to get let the big dog eat here, because we've been kind of tap dancing in pop land, vocal land, and now we've been holding back, and apparently so is this Scottish stoner rock band, because they decide, well, why don't we release our album right at the end of the year too, and no one will pay attention to it except a few stoner rock people like myself. So this band is deep in the clutches of magma of psychedelic and stoner rock via the Jimi Hendrix experience, for sure.
Mhm.
The first song is called Jump Into the River, and by God, all right, I'll do whatever this guy tells me, because he's riffing. And even the guy, what does he say? He says to me, I'll do anything. What does he say? He says, feel the rhythm in your soul. Yeah, I feel it. He could have told me to jump in the hole, because that rhymes with soul, but he didn't. He said something else, and I'm feeling it, dude. He could have told me to do anything, and I would have done it. So this is how the album kicks off. This singer knows what's happening. Point out the obvious. It doesn't matter. I'm tying my shoe. It doesn't matter. The riff is killer. I don't know what to do. I'm in. This is like John Lee Hooker in
Uh-huh.
a really stoner rock kind of way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. That's all you have to do with me. Now all I ask is that you keep that up and you maintain that, what you're doing, right? And well, stay tuned, because did they not absolutely know about, did I know anything about this band prior? No, I didn't. But their sophomore album is this, and then When the Wheels Fall Off, and there's a strong case for Jimi Hendrix on this, and the only cure for that is let it out, give it space, give it time, give it groove, and some fucking swinging bass lines, baby. Pump it up, Deb.
Well, it's so funny. I love to learn about the band and where their influences come from, and I always check those after I've listened.
Yeah, you don't want to go
And
before, because you get
no, because preconceived notion, right? I don't know these bands, so I guess the Orange Goblins did something for them. I did hear of Clutch though, and that's they named them as one of their
Hence why
influences.
I say clutches.
Oh, got it. Okay. So his voice, oh, I just couldn't put my finger on it. It's very transformative though. He could growl and then transition into some melodic measure that you go, is that the same person singing?
Yeah.
And neither one was better than the other. I even didn't mind the growling because it wasn't like intense, but that gravelly feel. They self-describe as jazz, blues, funk, rock and roll, grunge. Very true. I mean, when you just said Johnny Lee Hooker, I kept going to a blues voice of like a Stevie Ray Vaughan at times, just that phrasing as well. What I found interesting though was like I think they were two songs in a row. The one, Media Content, that was a little bit more the gravelly, the more grungy, and then they went into Gentleman's Surprise, and it was funk, and I'm going, what is going on? This is so fun. And it made me want to listen to the next song. And it wasn't so much a departure from one song to the next that it didn't feel like it wasn't flowing right. It's still it was still them. It was still the music behind it, the feel of the band carried right through the whole album. I really like this. I mean, it was way different than some of the other albums we're reviewing today. I mean, there was only 7 songs and it was 48 minutes, which not surprising based on what they're trying to deliver here. But telling you, Mark, I'd say these 3 albums left over from 2024. I'm glad you delayed 2025.
Yeah, there's what is it? you take this band, right?
Mhm.
And you go, okay. The
Mhm.
immediate for me is like, get into it, but define it. I gotta
Yeah.
place it. I've got to find, because when
Yeah.
I talk to people, I want to go, hey, it's like a this meets a this, that.
Mhm.
Like, so they get a wheelhouse idea, right? And then
Mhm.
again, it doesn't mean that they're going to get the same wheelhouse idea that I did or you did, right?
Correct.
It's not. Sometimes people go,
Correct.
you're fucking out of your mind.
Correct.
So, but bear with me here, because I think, don't get me wrong, the closest inclination I can get to him is Fallon from Clutch. That's why I said falls into the
Okay.
clutches. I'm being clever there, haha.
Oh.
More and I smart. But anyway, but they hit a hard blues rock thing that gives me that 70s kind of feel, like if Cream and Eric Clapton suddenly said, well, this slow hand shit sucks. Give me that. Let me like he said,
Yes.
even there's no ride cocaine. And he went, give
Yeah.
me a shitload of cocaine. Let's see if I can do this faster.
Let's
And
go
I
back.
just, and I wow, they could, where would Cream have been, right? Well, this is Cream on steroids, all right.
But it
Plus,
doesn't have a frenzied feel about it. Like, I don't want people to think that you're feeling,
no, it's not
because
thrash.
sometimes
It's
that
not,
music,
there's no
right, it's
anxiety.
not, that's what I was going to
No
say.
anxiety.
There's no anxiousness at
Right.
all when you listen to this.
I liken them to Mountain.
Yes, that's who it was. That's what I was trying. I kept saying, thinking to myself, Monster Magnet, but that's not Mountain.
Monster
Yes,
Magnet's kind of spacey. This doesn't have that spaciness, but yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah,
Monster.
Mountain.
Yes,
Definitely Mountain.
Mountain.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
legs on this fine Scottish whiskey are very long. They're balanced. They're strong. The hard proof that a Scotsman can sling the hard shit, baby. All right. When the wheels fall off, definitely had last minute attention in 2024. It was on the December Hard Rock Doom list as one of the best albums of the year, or best albums of
Really?
December. It was on some
Mhm.
people's list of 2024 even. But you want to know why? Because it's got bongos, baby. What stoner band is bringing out bongos?
I
Get 'em
love
set
Mongo.
at Gentleman's Surprise. Yes.
Yes,
What the shit's going on there?
that was a great song, man.
Some sonic licks, and yeah, let's just go. Yeah. You're gonna repent? Sure, why not? Um, you got to get ready for this kind of experience, though. You'll not only be sold, but you'll be jumping back again and again into that same river at the beginning that I was ready to just go willy-nilly into, right? So it's like that, Oh my God. Anyway, the band can call us. We'll talk.
Yeah.
That was a ride, man. And if you're in town, we'll go drinking.
Yeah.
I'll be the designated driver because I got a bad feeling.
That'd
All
be
right.
fun.
So we do have 3 extra ones for you today.
Mhm.
I'm gonna start off with Isaiah Collier and the Chosen Few. The album is The World Is on Fire, I believe.
Mhm.
And this is your jazz at another level. Um, I'm gonna let Deb start because I have this feeling that there was some sort of connection, and then I'll tell you where the connection fell apart for me.
Okay. Well, I've been thinking about this quite a bit. He's from Chicago. He's very young. He's only
Mm-hmm.
like 27 years old. And when you see a picture of him, he probably has quite a stage presence. He's like over 6 feet tall and wailing on that saxophone. Started playing saxophone at age 11. John Coltrane obviously is one of his big influences, but so is Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I love Earth, Wind, and Fire. Um, I can say that this album, I listened to it a lot in the background. It was not one that I could be totally focused on, and I can tell you why now because I had an aha moment as to what my connection with jazz has been since I was a child playing piano and then being in band and trying out for the jazz band and not liking it. Don't like jazz. It's one of my least favorite genres. And I can't remember which song it was on this album that came on that I went, now I like that because it had a Charlie Brown vibe to it. So I started thinking about, well, what
learn.
is so off-putting about jazz to me? Well, listeners, I know you think that I'm really a cool chick, but I'm an accountant by trade. So I have a very structured, concrete way that my life goes. Jazz is not that way.
Improv, baby.
It unstructured, unpredictable, which is not how I live life. And it's always been something off-putting to me ever since I was a child. And that's the only way I can describe it as to why this isn't my kind of thing. The very opening song was just too much sax all over the place for me. Obviously, so talented. This man is so talented that I feel bad saying these things because I really can't wrap my head around anything else except that it doesn't sound pleasing to me. But
Structure.
it's good. I know it's still good. So that's what I got to say about it. So
Oh.
this leaves it all open to you to try to change my mind.
I'm not here to change
Okay.
your mind. I
No.
enjoy saxophone at any part playmanship
Mhm.
that it has. It can be
Mhm.
anything from Glue Leg to NXS's oh my gosh, terrible Mark. Come on.
Come on. Oh no.
NXS's Never Tear Us Apart,
Yeah.
as a solo part in there,
Mhm.
or it can be as avant-garde as Miles Davis kind of
Mhm.
setups,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Coltrane, while there's improv and it was never too far.
Right.
It had a certain structure. He
You
hung,
had formula. Mhm.
yeah. Although
Yeah.
obviously
For sure.
people who are jazz musicians are giving us the middle finger, but I'm just letting you know that for a listener, it didn't
Yeah.
go. I didn't go. What? Oh, he took a leap there. That's okay. Avant-garde is avant-garde. Jazz, the acid jazz and stuff of that nature, that can be, especially for someone who has a perfect ear. This is not meant for. None of
Right.
this would be meant for anyone with a perfect ear. Although there's
Right.
nothing that structurally hurts. It does have, the only thing that structurally hurts is, and this is where I fall apart. I don't need someone telling me a story in the background. I don't
Yes.
need the television talking and monikers.
Yes.
If you're gonna do that, make it quick.
Yeah.
Make it a loop. Make it. I
Yeah.
don't. I hate that shit. I can't. First
Yeah.
of
It was
all, it
annoying.
doesn't even fit to jazz as far as I'm
No,
concerned. I don't
that
think.
was so confusing to me. I wanted to know what you were going to
Last
say
night,
about it.
37 kids were murdered in the back of a plane. And then, no, 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 no. Doesn't fit. I must have quit.
Thank God you said that.
Yeah, I'm
Thank
sorry.
God.
Sorry, not sorry. All right. It's a good album. It's
Mhm.
well put together. Whoever the chosen few are, they are the chosen few.
Mhm.
The world is on fire. I didn't get that message. The only time I got that message was when you told me that shit through the whatever TV, stupid radio broadcast, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't. I see it every day on CNN, Fox, all these other stations. The obliteration of the world by they just can't stop. They're like, you know what they're like? They're like the weathermen. All right. When there's if there's a hint of a storm, God, we're gonna make it to
Well,
storm
we
in the
know what
goddamn
weathermen are
century.
like.
Yeah, there's gonna be
Damn
1 inch of
weathermen.
snow, and you're all gonna die. No, 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 no. Play the music. Let the music talk. All right. We're going to get to that because I'm going to compare this album later on to another band,
Okay.
a progressive
Okay.
rock band that did a piece, and they're trying to make a statement, but they don't make the statement by talking or adding other filters. They play the music to make the statement. Is it harder to get the statement? Yes, it is. I don't doubt. But don't do that. It's like going to the movies and having someone narrate the story to you because like the only way you can do that is if everyone's mute in the movie. And you know what? They didn't even do that in that one that won the Oscar, the artist or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the one
Ooh.
thing that I noticed on here was uh, the one song, America the Ugly. Okay,
Mm.
obviously he's got a lot of social issues that he's got bothering him. I would say, but that title of that song, the music did not portray
Did
the
it?
title of, there was nothing about that song that would make me go, oh, America the Ugly. I mean, maybe the words, but you got to have, if the lyrics aren't matching up with the mood of the music, it's totally lost on me.
Right. Well, or either that or America the Ugly, Fight It. I don't know. I don't, you know, you're like, we're gonna take jazz to the streets instead of knives. Okay, that's a better song title.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
tambourine on your shoe. Wait a minute. All right. Instead of a knife boot. What? Okay. Thank you, Rodriguez.
Mhm.
All right, so that was Isaiah Collier, The Chosen Few. The world is on fire. Don't get me wrong. The jazz that's played is the jazz that's played. Got to get past all the little stuff that goes on, and maybe you don't even listen to a song title or look at a song title.
No, I know.
All right, so Los
Mhm.
Campesinos.
Yes. With
Okay.
an exclamation point. And I have
Yes,
to
I
say,
have that
that is
exclamation
high
point.
self-esteem when you
Yes,
put an
they're
exclamation point.
yes.
They think a lot of themselves. That's all I got to say.
Either that or just like, here we are.
Ta-da!
All right, so All Hell is the name of the album.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody's realized it over the years. Over the years, I have been doing Beyond Your Radio for a while, but not
Yeah,
on
you have.
YouTube. So the year and a half. I don't think there's a lot of power pop in my usual discussions. I don't throw out Sloan. Um, I can't even think of names of bands for that reason. But this band was on the top albums of 2024. It has a very familiar sound, in my opinion, and how I
Mhm.
grew with
Yes.
music. But I
Mhm.
know it has its place, and
Mhm.
I have a hard time dissensuating between what's good,
Mhm.
a little better than good, and what's triumphantly ridiculously good. Um, and how that's it's almost like in the metal, no, not metal, the doom dark stuff with the growls
Mhm.
and the how
Mhm.
that would be one better than the other, although sometimes I can feel it. So Deb, you were tasked with this. You've never heard of them before, I'm sure. Like I hadn't really either. So
Mm-mm.
help me out here so that I can maybe something will trigger me into what I
Okay. Okay. Well, they self-describe themselves as uh producing sleeper hits for weeping dipshits since 2006. So that's their moniker. Like I said, explanation point is a great sign of self-esteem and feeling like you want everybody to hear about you. The name of their band translates to peasants or country folk, and their fans have a little, they're I don't know, they've got some, like we're the Bills Mafia, they've got some kind of name that they follow. But I
okay.
never knew what twee pop was. And
Okay.
that's one of the genres they say that they're part of with, indie rock, noise rock, whatever. But twee pop is quaint, innocent, and childlike music. And a
Now
little bit.
you're fitting you're fitting the chord crunch that I'm thinking of. Yes.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I've heard that before. Okay.
Hmm. They were influenced by Sonic Youth, Modest Mouse,
Mm.
and that's kind of where I get, Joy Division, the Smiths. They've been coined as UK's first and only emo band. I'm
Yeah,
not too, yeah, right. So it is emo for
that's what
sure,
I think.
but and that's what they say. They're that they and which is why I like this album, because they say that they joined the ranks of like 30 Seconds to Mars, Blink 182, Good
Hmm.
Charlotte, that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. And some of the reviewers said that as well.
I
And
don't
you don't
I don't
see,
hear that.
I do.
I hear All American Rejects,
Mm, yeah,
Yellow
it depends
Card,
on the song. I
and
mean,
because 30 Seconds to Mars,
yeah,
um, they have more of an alternative sound, although maybe not their first record, but definitely the second and third
yeah,
records.
yeah,
Um, and there's more instrumentation going on. This is very chord crunch, simple,
yeah,
right?
yeah. The album cover, though, and we don't have it on our show, but I sure wanted to go into the woods, even though it looks scary. I kept looking at it and go, what's
Thank
in
you.
there?
Thank you for reminding me, because I think this is an accidental shot that they used. I don't
Really?
know if you were paying attention, but the car is driving in,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
headlights are there, and there is
Mhm.
a glow beneath the car that makes
Mm,
it look like a straight-faced frown. Like you're going
really?
into somewhere
Ah,
dark and deep, right? And it looks like a pumpkin, so to speak, that
yeah,
has a
okay. I'm
scowl.
gonna have to look more
Because the
closely. But
first look at it, because I'm looking at it digitally at that point, because I
yeah,
do not have this album. Whether I'll have it, it'll have to be in the used bin for $1. And it's nothing against the band, it's just my musical taste. You got to be, if you're gonna sling that, you got to be Green Day, and you got to do
mhm.
um that Ridiculous American Idiot thing, which was fantastic. So I saw that, and I'm like, why would they? Is this a Halloween album they're releasing in like November, December? Wait a minute, I'm missing something here, right? Plus, it's all hell. I was expecting it to be darker.
No, it's not. But the names of their songs too. I mean, I really like their songs, but the same thing. When I'm looking at the names of the songs, the name of the album, and then the way the songs sound, I mean, the names Coin Op Guillotine, Feast of Tongues.
I like that as the beginning song. I was like, okay, I know
Yeah,
where I am. It was
yeah,
well crafted song. The rest of it started to seem like the clever kind of ran out.
contrived. Like To Hell in a Hand Job.
And under the leaves, I believe there, but for the grace of God, we all go to hell in a hand job. Undeserved last minute.
I don't need to know about that.
Yeah, but that was clever, right? That's where I
That's
think
true.
some of this fell off eventually.
True.
I don't
Yeah.
obviously the songs are not in the order they were written, but I do think there was things that like don't seem like filler, but I just yeah I there were songs like that, Hell in a Hand Job and the first track
I
that I was
think
like,
that
oh,
what
okay,
really surprised me though was they've been around for almost 20 years.
yeah,
And I don't think that they've really evolved at all. I mean, I know we want Peter Gabriel to be Peter Gabriel, but he's matured and
still not Peter Gabriel of the past either, right?
right, right. I
Even
mean,
he doesn't
and
play
it's
his songs the same way, right?
right.
His connection
That's
changes
just a
just like we do.
human,
Yeah,
absolutely. So I enjoyed it because I didn't know anything else about them and I didn't go too deep into it other than to listen to um the songs without really reading the lyrics, but I didn't mind it. Let's put it that way. I have heard a lot of albums this year that I've absolutely hated. I will not say that I hate this. So
right, right.
invite me to one of your concerts. I'll come.
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
are they from? Oh, they're Welsh, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yes, they're the
Yeah.
Welsh ones. Remember remember we were talking about Sean Connery. He's the
Yes,
only
Sean
Welsh
Connery.
person I
That's
know.
right. That's right.
And them. So
Yep. Okay. So we go from there, we get to Michigan
mhm.
for Liquid Mike. And the album is called Paul Bunyan's Slingshot. Well, that's a hell of a good name for an album. That's a hell of a bad cover. I had no, I never looked again after that. I wasn't sure what was going on. If that is Paul Bunyan's foot at the base, and he's.
I don't know.
I have no idea. I
don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I know why they named it that.
Okay.
What kind of?
Again, I'm gonna go again into the power pop thing again. This is not my wheelhouse.
I know it's not.
But it has your opening track is drinking and driving. Okay,
Must have been our Scottish people.
I will just at least let you know that your name of your album is starting to fit the continuity that I was expecting that I didn't get on the last record. So, Deb, you're at Paul Bunyan's Slingshot. What happens with you?
Okay. Well, I think I listened to this one after I listened to Isaiah, so I may have liked this more than I would have if I had just heard it on its own.
You were on the rebound.
Yeah. So it's only 25 minutes long, 13 songs.
Yeah.
This guy, he's young too. He's only 27 years old. Mike Maple is his name. He grew up in Wisconsin and wanted to move someplace a little bit warmer, so he went to Michigan. You know, us and the love of the Great Lakes, I guess, is a curse, right?
He wanted to be by the water where it was warmer.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Bunyan, one of the reasons that was a reference on this album was, there's a legend that Paul Bunyan dug out Lake Michigan. So obviously he's trying to tie into some cultural thing. He actually was a mailman, and up until 2022, he would just be out there delivering his mail and be thinking of these songs that he wanted to write. And in fact, there is one song on this album called USPS. And it's because he was a mailman.
Hey kid, better not run away. They always go from nowhere to nowhere. There's new faces and they frown like the old ones, and they always go from nowhere to nowhere.
So
yeah, and that song I was trying to figure out
why
it was named that.
Well, that's why.
Yeah, that's why.
They're another emo type band, I would say, in a way, but they really are influenced by Everclear, Weezer, Sugar Ray, Green Day. I'm not surprised by the age of this guy that would be some of his references. I enjoyed this album. I like Liquid Mike.
Yeah.
I like Liquid Mike. I do. I thought it was pleasing.
Too. Yeah, I did. I like the fact that it didn't go too far, because I think they know they can't go that far.
Right.
I like the fact that they've never recorded in a studio.
Oh, I thought I read something about that. Where are they recording? On their phone?
Like a raw sound. They're just an informal recording setting, so they're not in a professional studio at all. So
Really?
there must be
Interesting.
somebody's house or something, I mean, with recording today, you could probably use your iPhone, maybe. I don't know, but damn it, they got guitar riff and choruses that work. They don't drag them on too long. They don't pretend to be a solo manic, it's thank God it's not an 80s pop thing. It's more 70s and 90s.
Yeah.
And it didn't go into any Sugar Ray arena where they thought they could rock it like that.
Right.
I didn't feel like
there was one song on there, Mousetrap or Mouse.
Yeah, Mousetrap. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very Weezer like. The opening of it was very Weezer to me, and I love Weezer. So I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. It was a fun album.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly how I come up with it. Good record, and one of those that just fell out of I did get this from somebody's list. I don't remember whose, Acquiesce or somebody's list. I mean, there's somebody that puts like 100 or so down.
Yeah.
I mean, I could put 400 if I wanted to in order the whole damn list, but monumental task I don't need at this point. But,
no, we don't need to do that.
So, what did you guys think of these releases? If you don't know them, are you going to go down that rabbit hole? I highly recommend most this week. It was decent. You know,
Very.
tell us what you think. Like, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because you know, we need more people to subscribe so we can do other more crazy things. We're on the web at beyondyourradio.com, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, of course. Articles, videos, the podcast is just a couple of days away. Go Beyond Your Radio with us, a real music appreciation channel. Join me tomorrow, Sir Douglas. Anyway, I want to thank Deb for doing this, and
It was fun.
I'll see you all tomorrow for Unknown Sundays. Thanks for watching. Happy listening.